Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you a fresh perspective on things and how we see it. And in today's episode, or today's show, rather, I have a lot of things I want to get to. So the first topic is NBA free agency moves that need to happen before the trade deadline is over with. So let's just get into that topic right there. But before we get into it, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Be sure to check out our Dreamerspro Short Clips channel in the description below, and also check out our Dreamerspro Podcast, which is also there. So, as you all know, we're in free agency now, the NBA draft, everything is in a frenzy. And the NBA is fastly approaching a restart, which is something that I'm super excited about, to be quite honest with you, because now we're going to get back to a little bit of a more traditional basketball. There won't be any more NBA bubbles. Now, listen, last night I was listening to an interview with Adam Silver, who is the commissioner of the NBA, on ESPN, being interviewed, talking about the protocols that they're going to put in place coming into this new season for regarding this pandemic that's going around, talking about the setup of the season, talking about the scheduling and all of these different things. So the NBA is working on a way to really pull this off successfully, which they did in the bubble, and pretty much were the trailblazers for all of the leagues, at least in American sports, to really get sports up and running again. So I trust that they're going to do a really good job, and I think we're going to, as I said, we're going to see a 72-game season, and I think teams are going to be traveling to various arenas. As I don't know if you guys have heard this already, but the Golden State Warriors at a certain point in the season are planning to bring back 50% occupancy of their fans back to the stadiums, to me, which I think is fantastic news, to at least get 50% of the fans back into the stadiums. Also, there are going to be some vaccines going around. So I think in the near future, things are going to be normalized moving forward. So for me, this is great for sports, great for the NBA, and just great for all of us in general to see that things are slowly starting to get back to normal. Now, let me just get into some topics here, some moves that I think could happen and need to happen before this trade deadline is over. Sorry for the pace that I'm moving at, but I got a lot that I want to cover today. So just bear with me while I get all of these topics off my chest. So, one of the things that I need to see now, a lot of moves have been made. Just last night, the Philadelphia 76ers just got rid of Al Horford. And, there's so many moves being taking place. The Clippers, I just found out this morning, got rid of Landry Shamet. Now, let me just say this. Landry Shamet is a great player. He plays with a lot of great energy. However, he was pretty hit or miss last season, man. He missed a lot of threes. He got a lot of threes up, but he missed a lot of them, especially in the playoffs. So them coming off of him and moving him, I think I'm still waiting to see what other moves they're going to make, but I think that was a good decision thus far, because he didn't really deliver as much as I would have liked him to, given the fact that he did, get up a lot of shots last season. But this is just my opinion. I mean, I saw him play, so these are my opinions, also because he was injured and all these different things. So they've gotten off of him. So let me just quickly touch on the Clippers, and I'm going to move to some other teams. So Clippers, two things that I need to see happen. Haven't seen it happen yet. But obviously we're still in the NBA free agency frenzy right now. Number one, the Clippers need to pick up a point guard. We've all lamented this before in the comments. Most of you guys have lamented this in the comment section. Some people have said it in the media at large. They need to pick up a point guard. Now, what I've understood is that Rajon Rondo is most likely not going to return to the Lakers. This is what I've heard, that he's not going to return to the Lakers. And the only other two teams really that are in real contention to gain his services are the Atlanta Hawks, who I think are looking to offer him, I don't know if it's $10 million a year. I think they're looking to offer him $10 million or so a year to go play with them. Now, if he goes and plays with the Atlanta Hawks, he's going to be probably starting behind Jeff Teague, who's already there. That's number one. Number two, the Atlanta Hawks weren't really making any noise anyway to begin with. So if he goes to play with, and he's also going to have a diminished role, as I just said. So if he goes and plays with the Atlanta Hawks, he wants a payday. And listen, anyone that's trying to get a payday, I have no problems with that. If you work your tail off and you deserve it, and you deserve it, you should absolutely get it. Now, with the Clippers side of it, the Clippers could probably offer him a starting position, which is the Clippers desperately need a traditional point guard to run their offense. But Rondo is not just a great point guard. He's very smart. He can get into passing lanes. He makes a lot of timely plays, especially in the playoffs. So I think they can definitely benefit from his services. That will move Patrick Beverley to the bench. So they have two solid point guards, two great defensive point guards. Keep Lou Williams off the ball completely. Just keep him at the shooting guard coming off the bench, which is something that I think is really important, because Lou Williams cannot play great defense. He has great offense, but he doesn't play great defense. And my question is, if the Clippers have Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and a Montrezl Harrell on the floor, don't you have enough offense? For God's sakes, you have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. On a given night, these guys can get you 50-plus points. So, listen, I think getting Rondo would really play a big role to helping this team moving forward. Another pick that I think they should pick up is a Robin Lopez. Robin Lopez is out there as a free agent with the Milwaukee Bucks. I think they can really use a great center with some size. Now, they have Joakim Noah. I don't know if they're going to let him walk or have him as a backup, but they need another big defensive big. They can also stretch the floor. Robin Lopez, who can provide some spacing, to the Clippers when their stars are trying to operate, that doesn't clog up the lanes too much. So I think Robin Lopez is a really good pickup if they can, and that can keep Montrezl Harrell at the power forward indefinitely, in perpetuity. So these are the two moves that I think they need to make, and it's just my opinion. Moving on to the Toronto Raptors. Now listen, Pascal Siakam, right, is a great player. He's been developing over time. If you look at his numbers all throughout his career, he even won the Most Improved Player of the Year. I think it was in 2018 or so, 2018, the year that he won the championship with the Raptors. And he's been getting better. However, I don't think he's that offensively gifted yet to be able to take over games and all of this. And we saw a drop off in his production in the playoffs this year when they were going against teams like Boston and others. And listen, he just couldn't produce, and he couldn't take that next leap. Now, for me, it's one of two things. One or two things are happening here. Number one, either he's not going to develop into a superstar, right, type scorer, or he needs help. Right, he needs a scorer next to him to kind of alleviate him and then create sort of a 1-2 punch going on there. So a guy that they could possibly go for is Gordon Hayward. He's free. He's a free agent. He's out there. Maybe they can try to re-sign him. Now, granted, he's had some injury histories, but maybe they could try to add him on their roster or some other player, whoever you guys think that they can add that can give him another scorer, another ball handler, another playmaker. Let me know in the comment section. Maybe you guys have a better person out there that you think could probably help, or maybe they need to execute a trade. And if they need to execute a trade, then things become very, very, very complicated, because now we're not even talking about free agency. We're talking about free agency and trades, and so many scenarios can come up. So that's one of the options I have out there. Now, all of you guys, I don't know if you heard the news about Klay Thompson, but Klay Thompson, I just heard last night, is going to have to undergo some surgery to, I think, his left or his right ACL. I think he tore his ACL playing a pickup game, tore his ACL and now he's going to need surgery. And that's going to be a pretty big loss for them, because for the Golden State Warriors to return to a semblance of what they used to be, the two Splash brothers need to be available and firing on all cylinders. And if he's not available, then that adds a really big problem to the Golden State Warriors, because these two guys, him and Stephen Curry, that's how they work. The tandem needs to be there. So if he's not there, then they're going to be missing some scoring. Now, one person that they could probably go out there and get is probably like a Reggie Jackson. Okay, Reggie Jackson is a great scorer. He's not a traditional point guard, but he can put the ball in the bucket. They can get him off the Clippers. I think his salary, last time I checked, is around $700,000 or something like that. So he's not very expensive. They can get him, bring him in. But definitely the Golden State Warriors need to, if Klay Thompson is going to be out for a long time, given the fact that he's going to undergo some surgery, then they definitely need to get someone that can provide a scoring punch for him in the interim that he's not there. So these are some of the moves that I think can happen before the NBA free agency is over. Now, granted, there's so many other moves that can take place, but these are just some. I have other topics that I want to get to. So what I want to know from you guys is, let me know what you think about some of these recommendations that I made in this particular show here. Let me know what you guys think. Also, if you think there's some other trades that need to happen, other moves that need to happen around the NBA free agency, leave all of those, your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro. Wishing you guys an amazing day. Peace.